I like getting into arguments with people about soul.
Yes, let's talk about it because I just had this conversation with someone as well.
People are like, soul can't be taught. Okay, so this is a very complicated, touchy subject and I
Yes.
talk about it a lot, but I'm gonna talk about it today with my friends. So, soul, when you say soul, according to history and the Bible, is what makes us alive. We are a living soul. We are souls because God breathed the breath of life in us. We have soul, we have humanity. Soul is humanity. The humanity that causes us to cry, to laugh. And I tell you, the day I see robots do that, I'm going to flee this earth. If I ever hear a robot snickering
They've
at a joke
trapped.
or like crying over something, like that's something that a computer or a robot doesn't, just because
Yeah,
they don't have any
feeling, right.
humanity and soul. So the soul makes you feel something. I do believe in every gift that God's given, every single talent, you can express soul. Whether you're a painter, whether you're a storyteller, a psychologist, a doctor,
Yeah.
it's the humanity that says, you know what? Let me try again and let me try it this way. Let me use my creativity to make an adjustment here.
Right.
And I'm feeling that I should go this way instead of that way. It's a choice. It's a choice. And so that's ultimately like a definition of soul. Now, when it comes to singing, there's a genre called soul music
Yeah.
that has been developed over the years. It used to many years ago be called race music, and then R&B and soul. It's come into its own kind of genre, and it's a name given to artists that sing a mix of different genres that were put together, like jazz, gospel,
Yeah,
R&B,
there's subdivisions for sure.
blues. Yeah. So soul, it's hard to talk about genres because I believe genres are leaving and they're going away. Thank God. I think
Yeah.
it's just as we develop as humans and as a country and as people, we just kind of like learn that there aren't as many differences as there were 100 years ago.
Yeah.
We can come together and
The boxes.
have our music has taken over the whole world. By the way, American music. So
Definite. Now that's a conversation, but
Yeah.
yes, I feel like. Do I think that soul can be taught? I'm gonna go with still no. I think soul can be felt, and I think that just like because we're talking about music is such a feeling. It's such a person. The way that you would respond to sing a line of music, if we had to sing the same one, it would always be different because of our soul, in my opinion. So I don't think it's something that I can say, hey, do this and do this, and that's soul. No, I can't say that.
So if three different singers sat here and sang the same exact thing,
Yes.
what am I trying to say? So if three singers sat here and sang the exact same soulful sounding thing,
Yes.
do you believe that you can tell the one that meant it or the one that didn't?
Yes. I think that you'll be able to tell the one that meant it, but I think it's like saying that those three different choices that are saying one's lesser or weaker than the other. It's not that. I think that we all have different experiences in life, different ages, different, love lives, different teachings as from our parents. I think it's from a child till now. I think soul, like I said, it can't be taught, but it can be felt because when you learn, I think singing is about the feeling of within. Once I get to a point where, and if we're gonna go like real deep, if I say, sing in your falsetto, I can tell someone who doesn't know how to sing in their falsetto that they don't know what they're doing because they don't know how it feels. Not because you can't access it. We can all probably access a falsetto. But if you've never done it and I'm trying to tell you to do it, it's the only way you can't do it is because you don't know how it feels to sing in a falsetto. Because once you learn the feeling, which is what I think soul is, because there's sub divisions into soul. There's soulful R&B, there's gospel, there's soulful rock, there's soulful all these different things. I think it's a feeling. I think I can get you to a place where you can feel what soulful means to you, but you'll never feel what soulful means to me. Aretha
Yeah.
Franklin singing soul music is not, even though they're both, black singers, Donny Hathaway is soul as well, in a sense. He has the R&B, but he also has soul, and they're two different approaches. I think it's because they feel two different things. We all have soul. There's blue-eyed soul at one point, if we're being honest.
No, you have
And
like
then-
Celine Dion soul, like Frank Sinatra soul, like
and
that.
I can't say that soul is
It's
not soul.
because they're singing the songs their way.
Their
So
experiences.
if I had different people sing "Mary Had a Little Lamb," and
Yeah.
I said, "Now add something to it so that it's yours. Those things that someone would have to come up with on the spot and add to it,
Is your soul.
it's the soul.
Yes.
Because if I tell a robot to do that, they'll just be on the note.
And that's why I feel like I can't say that it can't. I don't think it can
It's
be taught.
outside.
It's a feeling.
It's outside of teaching, and it's
Yeah.
outside of race. It's outside
All
of
the boundaries,
of,
yes.
of anything, any ethnicity. It's just if I say do this and you add something to it, why did you add that? It goes into
Yes.
I felt it.
And what you opened this conversation was that soul is something that we've all been given because it's
Yeah.
our life. That is
Yeah.
the life that we live. That is why we are alive. We breathe. We can exist. Is our soul.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that I think should be tried to be taught. Singing can be taught because singing is very A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Right.
And you always say, I can teach you how to sing, but I can't teach you to be interesting. The interesting part
Yeah.
is the soul.
Right.
In my opinion, if I said, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, that's my soul. And if you sing in the same key,
Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was black as coal.
and that's his soul. Now, does it seem that one is different than the other? Yes, because our souls are different.
They're
Our
different,
life
yeah.
patterns are different. That's what soul is. Soul is about life. And I feel like that's why I think it's important for singers to live.
Because I can even break down what you did, but I can't break down why you did
Why you did it.
Because it's your human story that you're putting into it.
Absolutely.
So as a coach, I'm like, okay, you slid here, went to a different note. We can all break down what this is, but it doesn't mean you can explain why it's done.
Yeah, and that's why I
just-
think it's amazing when I see people like you that are like coaches and you break down these things on people when they come into your lessons. You break these things down, but it's like, wow, she'll come in and sing like this and you'll break it down, and then she'll have a conversation with you after, like, well, I never looked at it like that because I just do it. Soul is not a calculated thing. Soul is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
feeling. You can tell me that
If
was
it were
A sharp
calculated,
into this
if soul were calculated, you'd be able to program robots to do it
to do it, for sure.
with the calculation.
And that's why you see all
You
these
cannot
reaction
do that.
videos. Like, oh my God, this person just took it up into this. They're like, oh, the
Yeah.
glissando into this A flat.
Yeah.
It's like all
It's
these
like-
things, but that person doesn't think glissando into A flat.
No, you're not.
They don't
thinking
think, oh, I just hit a A sharp minor run. Like that's not
Yeah.
not what they're thinking, because it's a
Right.
feeling. You don't think as a good singer. You're
Right. You're
thinking
just doing
to
it.
you're thinking to know where to be, but it's a feeling. You have to leave room for your soul to open up. So I think soul is like such a vast conversation, like you said, starting this.
Interesting. I love that. I love it. It's what a machine cannot do.
Yes.
Not soul, by the way, is not loud.
No, and it's not black.
It's
and that's what
not.
people think.
It's not a race. It's
No.
not just black people. It's not a race. It's not loud. It's not slipping and sliding everywhere. It is. It is outside of all that. It has a stigma.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
like sing soul. And I am telling you. It's like okay. That's not necessarily a definition. That's just
When-
a style.
Cyndi Lauper says, lying. That's soul.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
my soul, but it's her soul.
It is.
And
And-
there's, like I said, that's the best I can put it. Soul has subdivisions. It breaks down into many things. It
Yep.
just does.
Yep. I can tell you from every great singer across the board, I could tell you moments that they've just
That's why they're here. That's why we know
portrayed
them.
soul. That's
They've really positioned and put a presentation of soul so well on record or so well into a song that it hit us.
sometimes shows up when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Or when your voice is not 100%. When you're working around a situation. No. It's- when you have to work around something, you have to be more creative and you have to learn how to
Which
make
makes
it
you
work.
dig.
Yeah, it makes you a better singer ultimately. How do you know when you found your sound? I came up with an answer. I said when you hear something in your head that